Hi, my name is Frank Panic. A little over 2 years ago, four men who've spent a lot of time sharing in very deep ways in sacred space decided to keep doing that on a biweekly conference call. They run about 2 hours, and they often distill down to one or two or three common points among the four of us that we can take forward into our lives and continue to learn from and grow from. We thought it might be useful to share it to a wider audience. So the four of us, actually there were originally three, the fourth man whined until we let him join us. At any rate, we decided to try and do that. So this is our attempt to share it to see if there's any interest in or use for it outside of our circle. We don't hold ourselves out as any fountain of elder wisdom, although we are all of a certain age, but we decided to do it anyway. So one of us in the US, one in New Zealand, and two in Australia send this out with our love in hopes that it may benefit others as well as it does us. Thanks and blessings on your journey forward. What did you get from this evening then, Jess?
My takeaway today is the connection, quite apart from the essential in my heart, the essential nature of my connection with each one of you as individuals and with this group as an entity, which kind of feeds my heart and soul, and these days has become something that I actively look forward to, each couple of weeks. But the thing that occurred for me today was around connection, whether it's with people I know or not. My capacity to connect with other individuals, I think, is the essential life providing aspect of being a human being, is my capacity to connect. But also what occurred for me that I haven't spoken of, this is a kind of odd one, I haven't spoken of, is I'm actually beginning to develop an understanding of how inadequate language is, of how it suits our ego-based cultures and our societies, because language gives us an agreed way of communicating, which is, let's just what's that word? Distill this incredible miracle called the world life into things that we can understand so our egos can connect. And I think that's the limit of language, and that we don't actually go beyond that. So the capacity for me to speak of the spiritual nature of being a Chinese human being is I don't have the capacity to speak that. Neither do I have the capacity to speak of my own spiritual nature with another human being. You guys might be exceptions to that. But so I have this growing sense that when I am connecting with human beings, I am mindful. Language is inadequate and can actually be counterproductive in making the connection. And I've heard it from you today, Frank, with your connection with Jack. And from you, John, with your connection with people you don't share language with, those Chinese tourists. And yeah, that's me, connection and language.
Yeah, I second that. And I mentioned on the call, I'm encouraged that I don't need to agonize so much about how to get an idea across through the images or the video, because language is a handicap in that regard. And they'll have whatever experience they have. The connecting is the important part. I've already got a couple ideas about some images I've made and what they now say to me that they didn't before. So connection is certainly all that is, and language is inadequate to connect. And those are surely my takeaways tonight, and both very useful.
Yeah, I guess for me it's very similar, that connection is probably more important than language, but language enables more connection, and that connecting is more important than talking, because it's an experience rather than just words. It sounds a bit silly. But yeah, connection is key. And for my recent experiences, connection is able to happen without language, and the message still is able to get through, even when the words are not there to convey what is being expressed. And I guess sometimes it's probably better than talking, because it interacts with the emotions, and the physicalness of the situation, i.e. the people. And I guess it's the connection is the entire language, and speaking is just a little piece of it, and it's probably overrated. Thanks.
I talk a lot about connection. I feel more connected when I can feel more of the sense of a person. And often that's without words. Today, in my sharing, kind of like almost, I think, incidentally at the end, I mentioned about my little hurt of not being or not feeling special to a mate. And that goes to things like judgment and doubt and not being good enough in me. And what was powerful in that for me today was, despite the inadequacy of language, being seen by others who love and care for me, and being offered a subtle reframe on that sharing opens me to a whole different perspective about where I'm at in my life compared to where I might have otherwise been judging myself to be. So for me, today's takeaway is actually about the power of connection over time. And in a world where sometimes we don't stay connected for a particularly long period of time, or when we do, it's very stilted, or can be through abbreviated media, social media platforms, the opportunity to spend time and to be heard and to be seen and to receive reflection, I think has allowed so much more of my life to be felt and experienced than what it used to be. So for me, I'm really grateful for that, because this space provides that opportunity for me to share and to receive reflection, which is powerful. And I'm grateful for that.